Okay, here we have all the parts for step 13, and this will be putting together the hips and the spine of the Leviathan. So the first thing we're going to do is put the spine on here, like so, and just slip one of these ball joints inside, push it down. And then what we're going to want to do now is match up the bottom piece. Put that in there like so. And we'll add our 2 screws here to hold that in place. Again, being careful with the tension, not to do it too much, because we don't want to strip out the holes. I know I repeat myself on here, but it's that important. So that gives us the ability to maneuver the spine, but it's not so loose that it'll just go free. So then the last part will be to put the hips together like so. In order to do that, we'll need to put some glue on here. And put a little bit on this side. Now we'll just slip this part in like so. And you'll see there's a shape there, so this fits right in. And I'll just hold this for a few seconds while it dries. And the last part of this step will just be putting the 2 ball joints on the ends here. One on this side, just push them down as far as you can. Okay, should be good to go. So that completes step 13. So we'll just put that up here, let it dry. Now step 14 will be the hydraulics. So pull off these pieces over here. Now one thing to note on step 14, on the bottom piece here on the instructions, it says this is part 1A and 1B off of the DD sprue, but actually this is part 3A and 3B. So that's a mistake on the instructions that come in the box. Now if you go to the site and get the updated instructions, they'll be correct, but I just want to mention that in case you are going off the ones in the box itself. So just make sure you get the right ones. And the assembly on this is pretty straightforward. You just put the piece in there, push that through, and then we'll just put a little dab of glue on the end here. And again, you don't want to get too much so it overflows, because if you get it on this piece here, that'll seize up. So we're just going to put a very small dot of glue right on the top of that nib there. I'll put the cap on. Like so. And that's the bottom. I'll just make sure this turns okay. Yep, that's good. And then the top piece is very similar. You just slide the 2 pieces together, push the post through. Just a drop of glue on the top here. Like so. Now we're going to just repeat for the other side. Again, it looks very complicated in the instructions, but this is actually a very quick step. Pop a little glue here. Cap in place. Repeat at the top, and this will complete step 14. And then step 15 will just be attaching everything to the waist piece. Put that there for a second to dry. We'll move these out. Now what we're going to want to do is put these two pieces into the slot here, and then they'll be held in place by this front cod piece. You'll see it goes on. There's two little slots there. So all we got to do is put some glue here. A little drop in the corners. Very carefully put these in place here. One like that. That one on that side. When we push this in place, it'll trap it. Now we just hold that there like that until it glues together. And then we just put the top of the hydraulics in place. And that will complete that step of the build. So that's step 15 done. So now we'll just put this aside, let it dry. Make sure everything's still moving as it should be. Make sure we didn't get glue anywhere. We weren't supposed to. Everything looks good, so there you go. Pretty straightforward. Again, it looks more complicated in the instructions than it actually is. So next step will be 16, which is the sword arm. And we'll do, I think we'll end up doing steps 16 through 19 in the next video. So I'll put this to dry, I'll get the other pieces ready, and we'll move on to steps 16 through 19.